Okay, hello. So today is daily attendance for May 18th. So I want to say that I'm back online. My apologies for that. Long story. I don't, maybe I should get into it or not. Maybe I should do it for tomorrow. But so my business is lserwin at luciaserwin.com, which is my name. And so the domain name is luciaserwin.com, and that's what you have to pay for. There's like GoDaddy, and you pay for it, and you pay for it by certain lengths of time, so it's certain years. And so I use that, and if I don't have that, then I don't have an email, because then that's my address. And so it was very confusing. I didn't know that it was up for renewal, so they canceled me. And then of course I don't know any of my passwords because it's been forever and whatever and this and that. So, and I have people that take care of that, so I didn't know what the passwords were and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, so I appreciate your all's patience, but today we're going to get going. And so it's going to be sort of an intense week, just because the last week, part of the last week, I wasn't able to upload. So my apologies on that, and most definitely on my delays. There's several things, and maybe I shouldn't even address them, but there's students have been saying that they're kind of confused or whatever. I highly encourage you to really watch my videos. For those of you on an average, mostly everybody for all my classes understood what the deal was. So if you have any questions, just keep bubbling me, but I can't stress enough that you have to watch the videos. Everything is explained in the videos. If you don't watch them and you're asking me questions, I know that you didn't watch them even though you say you did, okay? So just a heads up. So that's one. So in terms of midterm, today we will begin our midterms. And so I gave you an option of doing a class assignment or doing a prompt. And so class assignment 1, okay, I think, based on what I saw. But after much reflection, because the people that, my students that wanted to do a prompt really had a desire to do a prompt. So, I am Miss Erwin. So anyway, so I'm going to give you the option to do what it is that you want to do. So I will explain that in this video. I'll explain your midterm, and you're going to have the option of either doing a prompt or doing a class assignment. And I will mention what your midterm class assignment is if you wish to do it in that way, okay? Now, after your midterm will be due on Wednesday. You have enough days to get it done. In that term. If you need a little bit more time, let me know. But on Wednesday, I will give you classwork that you'll have to do for Thursday and Friday, because we are a little bit behind and I really want to get that in. So in addition to the midterm this week, you will have classwork towards the end of the week. You will also have Microsoft Teams meetings, and I will be setting those up, and we'll probably have it on Wednesday. So I will do the list because I'm waiting for the rosters to be able to set up the team meetings. I was unable to set them up last week, so I'll be setting that up today, and then we'll set it up either Wednesday or Thursday, just depending on how much time I feel that you guys need to have. Probably I'll set it up for Thursday this week, although I would like to have our meetings on Wednesday, but I will give you information on that further, okay? So in terms of prompt, if you chose, so first and foremost, right, I want to say that, I'm sorry, I got a little hot, but so first and foremost, I want to say that, my students, as I tell all my students, right, it is, you are who you are, especially when no one's looking, okay? And part of what you will understand in my class is that no matter what, you are who you are. So part of the thing with me, right, is that if you want to turn in crap, you turn in crap. You'll get your grade, right? And I'm pretty lenient on you. I stand behind my word, right? So if I tell you that I'm going to give you a grade, if you turn in crap, I'll give you crap. I'll let you turn it in, because it's on you, right? So whatever it is that you turn in, and however it is that you conduct yourself, and whoever it is that you are, is who you are always. So if you want to turn in crap, even though I put no requirements, and even though you are at liberty to do whatever it is that you wish to do for my class, then it's on you, right? I had a student last term, and whatever. So maybe I shouldn't say that. Okay, anyway, so it is within these challenging times that we really determine who we are and what it is that we do and how it is that we conduct ourselves. And so you always, and I encourage you, and I really encourage you to be the best that you can be, because it is when nobody's looking that determines whether you will do the right thing, right? If nobody looks and nobody knows and you won't get caught and nobody will know, will you in the end do the right thing? And so if you do, right, then that is who you are. If you do not, then then maybe it is a time for reflection. So I highly encourage you, even though everybody wants to do class work, and that's fine, right? I found it very interesting and really neat, right? Because there was people that really had a desire to do a prompt. So sometimes you have a choice to do something really simple and take a shortcut or whatever, and that's your prerogative. I gave you that. But it is about really challenging yourself and going the extra step and the extra mile that determines who you become and determines the expansion and the growth that you will have in your life, right? So I encourage you, especially if you have an option and there really isn't anything much being weighed on, to really take on a heavy duty project, or take on a challenging experience, or take on something that might be a little bit harder, but that might be able to expand your growth or your understanding, or push you and strive you to be the best that you can be and be better than you were, last week or yesterday. As I mentioned to everybody and my students in all my classes, is that you don't have to compete against anybody. The only person that you compete against and the only person that you have to be better than is the person you were a minute ago, is the person that you were a week ago, that was the person that you were a month ago and a year ago. That's who you need to compete, and you need to strive daily to become the best that you can be. It is through English, right? And we're doing writing. One is technical, one is reading college, and then the other one is technical writing. But in the end, it's all English. And so it is through English and the ability to be able to express ourselves correctly, right, and deeply, that really expands our ability to be the full professionals that we want to become, and to truly become the persons that we wish to, because it is through communication, it is through reading, it is through writing that expands our horizons, that expands our vocabulary, that expands our language, that expands the ability to convey a message, an idea, a thought, a dream, right, of what it is that you so desire. The human is such an incredible being, right? And so not only are we able to read, are we able to write, but we are able to articulate and be able to decipher specific symbols and words and letters that create words, that those words create phrases, that those phrases become sentences that create thoughts and create ideas and create communication that can be expressions of a magnitude of feelings, right? And so it is through becoming a better reader, it is through becoming a better writer, it is through exercising the ability to go beyond what we currently know in terms of language, expression, articulation, that expands our knowledge to be able to convey whatever it is that we need to convey, especially for you all, because you all are in the service industry. So it is you all, as well as me as a teacher, we are here, and we are here to service people. And if you don't have it in you, you will not survive. And so, sometimes, most people, think that teachers are, easy peasy, and that they get 3 months of break or whatever. And so some people go into the profession thinking that they're going to get the 3 months of break and it's going to be a really piece of cake. Those people don't survive, because you need to have it. It's like you all, you need to have it in you. And there is a reason that you chose your profession. Specifically, you all, I have noticed that for my students, you were either affected personally through health, something about you that you had a hard time in terms of health, or you had someone that you loved very dearly that was affected by health, or you had something happen to you, and the health industry and the health providers really nurtured you back, and you were in awe, and you so much respected them that you wanted to become that. So that's why you're here, and this is part of the reason that you are who you are. That you going to school and you having this goal sets you apart from so many people, and specifically the industry and the profession and the career that you have chosen. It's about truly healing people, and if you can't heal them, it's about trying to make them as comfortable as they can to be able to go through whatever illness, right, and whatever hurt and whatever it is that they have. My student, the one that gave me that tea on, when I was like, I had like my belly, and I told you that I was really sick or whatever, she says, I just can't help, I just can't see anybody being hurt and hurting. So that was very interesting. That's exactly what it is. It's sort of like me, right? I always explain stuff, and I'm always very, I always make sure that people understand, what it is that they're trying to learn or whatever, because I'm a teacher and that's what I do. So I highly encourage you to take these opportunities that are given to you that sometimes maybe seem so easy and you want a way out, but I encourage you to push yourself on a daily basis to become the best that you can be, and to fully seize the moment that you have at this time to learn as much as you can learn, because knowledge is power. So sometimes taking an easy route will not give you the knowledge, the experience, and the opportunity to expand your knowledge, to become better, right? And to have the opportunity to learn something that maybe you didn't know that you could, or you didn't understand. So I highly encourage you to live your life that way, right? Once you have your knowledge, nobody can take your knowledge away. Knowledge is power. It's like Mickey Mouse, right? He has like, I think it's Fantasia, or I don't know which one it is, and it's like, knowledge is power, and most definitely knowledge is power. Nobody can take away your knowledge, because that is huge power. And once you know it, you know it. And let me tell you one thing. There's nothing sexier, and there's nothing more professional, and there's nothing more intriguing than meeting someone who can express their ideas, who can articulate their ideas exceptionally well, and who is a powerhouse at what they do, and is an expert in their ability and their career. There is nothing that is more alluring than meeting someone that's super, super smart. And if you have it all, right, and you're not all that smart, then what is it that you have? And you don't have to be brilliant, but you can be an expert in your field and understand what it is that you are providing. And so through that, nobody is born knowing everything. It's a process of a schemata, which is the word, right? And so we have a foundation. A schemata is a foundation of what we have. For those of you who are in the health industry right now, then you already have a schemata. You already have a foundation. So whatever the school is teaching you, you build upon that. If you don't have a foundation on that, then you need to create one in order to start building. And everything that you learn builds to that foundation, so that way you can be the best professional and the best person in your career that you possibly can. So today we will start our midterm. Okay, so you have the option of doing whatever it is that you want to do. So I will review English 133 if you want an assignment, a book assignment, and you want that for your midterm. And I will review English 145, and if you want a book assignment for that, then you can upload. If you wish to do a prompt, okay, I have 3 prompts that I have here that you can do. If there's a different topic that you wish, just write me and tell me, hey miss, I prefer to do this topic. For those of you who are doing prompts, I commend you, and I am honored and exhilarated, right, that you chose to do a prompt, because obviously there is a need that you have, that you wish to convey and express yourself, and there's nothing more beautiful than being able to write and being able to convey whatever it is that you are thinking and whatever it is that you're feeling into words, and have the ability to move and shake people in that way, right? So I will tell you the prompts first for the people that want to do the prompts, and then I will go further in to tell you what the assignments are if you choose an assignment. So that's for today. You have till Wednesday to turn it in. If you need more time, then you can turn it in. One more thing. On the links for your assignments, you have due dates that are incorrect. Okay, so you have to view my videos to know when the due dates for the assignments are. The reason that I do for the links is once the link is closed off, then you can't upload the assignment. So I always leave it open, which I shouldn't. So don't get on me and give me attitude that, oh, this assignment link says this and that. I do that as a favor to you all so you can get it in. But remember, you are who you are. The deadline is a deadline. It doesn't matter what the link says. It matters what you and I agreed, and if I tell you it's on Wednesday, you get it in on Wednesday. All right, unless there is a problem, then you let me know. So those links I always have an extra day or two because of the people that are late. There's not that many people that are late, but once that link is closed, then you cannot upload it, and that's why I don't give it the date, the actual date that it's due date. Okay, I could be a meanie and just put the due date, but I don't work that way. Okay, I'm here to help you, and I'm here to develop you, and I'm here to give you a break when you need it, but don't take advantage of it because people don't appreciate it. I certainly don't appreciate if you're taking advantage of my breaks, right? So these are the prompts. In the prompt, I will put certain guidelines. I do want it in Word document, and I do want it typed, right? And I want at least 2 pages. Now, I had my students last term blew my mind because they had to write a paper, they had to write a prompt, and I was so impressed with them. In their prompts, they put pictures and they did APA style. I am not requiring you to do APA style. I encourage you to do APA style because that way you practice it. And before, it used to be that you had to really do it. Now it's formatted. Word formats it for you to do APA style. So I had exceptional papers, even though they were not asked to be done that way, and even though I did not set any requirements, they set the standard up for themselves super, super high. And I cannot stress enough what admiration I have for my students, because you are who you are, period. Even though I didn't set any requirements, any standards, they gave me their best always. And that is beautiful to see, because nobody needs to nag you. Nobody needs to put deadlines. That's why it is what it is. You guys turn it on Wednesday. What time? Just turn it on Wednesday. Chill out, right? But get it in and turn in the best that you can do. So anyway, so for the prompts, it was amazing. I encourage you to do APA. If you don't want to do APA, don't do it, but it's something that could be practiced, right? It's already formatted in the Word document. It does it. When I was going to college, I had to put it all in. It was a pain in the butt. So now it's all formatted for you, okay? They also did research, and they also gave quotations, and quotes on specific things that they referenced. It was very interesting. Now, the prompts that I chose are this, okay? It's the resourcefulness that the quarantine has given us, right? People have become very resourceful. And so what is it, and how it's very interesting how that has really changed our lives, right? I saw, it's very hard to find wipes, and all of a sudden we need wipes. If you have Clorox and you have some towel, just, do the water in the Clorox and you can do the towels, right? And then wash the towels. But we've become so dependent on things that we've always had, right? It's very interesting. We go to the stores and there's nothing, right? I think it's going to get worse. We can discuss that later. But anyway, back to, to the resourcefulness. So there's a lot of, do-it-yourself videos and stuff like that on people that have been really resourceful. So the other day, I saw this guy take, those blue, paper towels that they use for cars and to work on engines and stuff like that. So he cut it in half. He put it in a Folgers coffee tub. He did 3 parts, 3 parts water, 1 part Clorox, and then he dipped it in and he closed it up, and then he sort of created a thing where you could pull out the paper towels. It was brilliant. So those were Clorox wipes that he created on his own. So I was really, really impressed. So that one's one. The other one is for elders, which are, our elders, right? Our grandparents, our elders. I don't like to call them old people. I think it's very disrespectful. So I call them elders or seniors. But it's been very interesting how this isolation has affected them tremendously, and it's affected their memory, right? Since people can't go visit them, even if they're not in homes or whatever, in nursing homes or whatever, in their home, then there's a lot of people that can't visit them. Like Mama is is basically isolated in her house. I live with my mother, but because I have contact with other people, I had to not live with her because she's older, and so she's one of the people that that are high risk, and so so I had to come to my other house. So the effect of isolation on our elders has been significant, and it's been significant in their memory as well, and them feeling very isolated. So that would be a really great prompt, the isolation and what that has cost, not only for our elders, but for us. What has isolation created for us, right? And what does that mean in terms of being isolated, and what has it done to you and your psyche? I read this article, and I encourage you tremendously to read. If you're not a reader, and I'll discuss this because this video is getting really long, but I encourage you to start reading, and I'll tell you if how to start to read, because most people don't like to read, but it's very interesting once you do like to read, and once you are exhilarated to read. And if you don't like to read now, it's because you're not reading the right things, but we'll discuss that later. So I read this article on how when all this is over, how we will be truly affected in our psyche, that we will never be the same, right? And so how the psyche will be affected, how psychologically we will be affected by the the self-quarantine, the quarantine and self-isolation, I think it's called. I never remember. And so what has the isolation created, especially in the elders, or within our families, or within yourself, and what has that meant? So the other prompt is, even I see it in my daughter and her friends. I was talking to her friend the other day, and we have Zoom, and we have FaceTime, and we have YouTube. And so, imagine having, this going through when you can't see people, you didn't have a means of communication. And as I tell everybody, we are the Jetsons. I don't know if you guys saw the Jetsons, but, Jane never wanted to answer the phone, right? Which was on the video, which was like a TV, because she was in rollers, and so she'd hide. And so I think that's awesome, because that's where we're at. We're right here with FaceTime. And so in spite of the fact that you all have the ability to FaceTime, to see someone, right, while you're talking, and to be able to, watch people, in the video, like you all can see me. Even though you haven't met me, you know what I look like. I don't know what you all look like, right? Or I do, because I have your pictures, but you know what I look like. And so, so how incredible that is. But in spite of that, I was talking to her friends, and they said, Lucy, I feel like, I just don't feel right? I feel like I'm working a lot, and that's another thing. Now that we're at home, we're working a lot. So how interesting, and this is the need for physical interaction. So even though we are seeing ourselves and we can see ourselves, we have such a need as humans to have physical interaction. Like, I'll call my mom, but I have such a need to go see her, and even though, I'm not really touchy-feely with her, I'm really very much missing hugging her and kissing her. And, even with my children, I see them often, but, I sort of, and they, sort of don't want to get close to me because I'm, I'm high risk because I'm asthmatic. And so, they're very cautious. And so how we yearn, right, even though we see each other, we yearn for physical interaction, and how the need for that is so much part of being human. And so, so that's another prompt. Okay. So the prompt is, resourcefulness during quarantine. The other thing is the isolation on elders. And then the third one is the need for physical interaction, even though we can see each other. If you have something else that you wish, that you have such a desire to write, just tell me, and I'll probably, I'll probably say yes. So just do it, but make sure that you let me know. Okay. So you have until Wednesday to do it. It's 3 days. You can definitely do it. You know, my assignments really don't take that long. So that for, if you choose not to do a prompt and you want to do class assignment, a book assignment, for English 145, let's do your chapter 3 as an assignment. I can't remember right off the top of my head how many activities there is, but as you go in through your chapter and you go to chapter 3, we're going to start in chapter 3 because it is what it is. It's a midterm. So we're going to go to chapter 3, and then you go through all your activities and all your chapter. Make sure you screenshot, and then that screenshot of what your grade was, you will upload to your SU link where it says midterm Miss Servin here. And that goes for those of you who do the prompt. So you're going to be uploading in the same spot. You're just going to be doing different things based on whatever it is you chose. So your prompts, you upload on Miss Servin, upload here. I think it's within week 3, or in English 133, I think it's section 3 and 4. So it didn't block it off like in weeks, but it's like that. So it's under midterm Miss Servin, upload here, and that's usually on week 3. Okay, so that's for anybody. So English 145, it's chapter 3. You go through all of them, you screenshot your final score, and you're going to upload as your midterm, and I will be able to go and log in into Cengage and see what you did. Now, for Cengage, I didn't have it linked directly to Cengage because sometimes you struggle or sometimes it bumps you off. And so I want to be able to have the ability to maybe, give you extra credit if I saw that you did well or whatever, and give you that credit. So that's why you're going to have to upload your screenshot for Cengage in English 145 into your assignments on SU. It will not link directly because I don't have it linked directly, because I want the ability to be able to give you the grade that I think that you deserve. Okay, so this is for English 133. In English 133, right, we have this book, which is Breakthrough Breaking Through College Reading. All right, so you're gonna go, and your midterm is gonna be this. You're gonna go to page 22, okay, and it looks like this. And then you start here where it says increase reading rate. You're gonna go all the way through here. You're gonna read it, and you're gonna go to page 23, read through it, and then go to page 24. All right. Now, when you go to page 22 here, you're going to read here the instructions, okay? What it is that you're going to be figuring out what your reading rate is, which is very important. So you're going to start, and you're going to time yourself starting right here. This is your timing, and this is what you're going to read. It's bad, okay? And you're going to go all the way down here to be able to read it, okay? Down here is a chart on your time, and it's going to give you the minutes. You're going to have to convert them. Now, you write down whatever it is right here. You're going to take a picture of this, and you're going to upload. In the back, you have several questions. There's no answers to them. I will tell you later the answers. You need to get, there's instructions here, you need to get 4 questions out of the 5 correct in order to make your reading rate count, okay? Because if you get more than 4, then it doesn't count, because part of your reading rate is to be able to comprehend what it is that you read. So you can read really fast, but if you don't comprehend what you read, then it's of no use. Now, after you do the reading and you time yourself, it's not here. You have to get on the net, okay, on the internet, and then you look for an article which is titled like this. You go under the Forbes magazine and you put in Forbes, do you read fast enough to be successful? So you're going to log in after you finish reading and after you've answered the questions, and you're going to go into the internet. It's not in your book. You need to research the article, and you're going to research the article titled Forbes, do you read fast enough to be successful? There, it will give you a list of the levels of reading rate. You need to tell me what level you are, and you need to state what your minutes were here and what your level is. You're going to be really surprised. It's going to be really low. We'll discuss that later, okay? So that is your midterm for English 133. I will tomorrow give you instructions on your classroom assignment, not tomorrow, Wednesday, because you guys are going to get confused. I will give you instructions on your classroom assignment for Wednesday, okay? So that is your midterm. You start today. You have till Wednesday to upload it. If you have any issues or any problems, just email me. Bubble me. I prefer bubble. So you either have you have the option to do a prompt, or you have for English 145. If you do not do a prompt, you need to do chapter 3, all of it. And if you're in English 133, you need to do the reading rate, which is on page 22, I believe. Okay? Many blessings. Love and light. Ciao.